Hello, my friends. Yes, I know I said I was going to make an appearance. I got tied up helping a friend, so did not have the time, but I will do it for Monday's story. Anyway, to the story. This one's for a friend of mine, Jenna. She always hated basements since childhood. So yeah, this is what happened one time when her and her hubby moved into a new place. Enjoy. Jenna had always hated basements. As a child, she'd been terrified of the dark, damp space in her childhood home, convinced it was haunted by a sinister presence. As an adult, she'd avoided basements altogether, choosing apartments and houses without them. But when she and her husband Tom found the perfect house, it came with one unavoidable feature: a basement. It was a late autumn evening when Jenna first felt the unease. The sun had set hours ago, casting the house into deep shadows. Tom was working late and Jenna was left alone to unpack boxes in their new home. The basement loomed in the back of her mind, a dark secret she preferred to ignore. But as the house grew quieter, she couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. Reluctantly, Jenna decided to face her fear. She grabbed a flashlight and descended the creaky wooden stairs to the basement. The air grew colder with each step, and the smell of damp earth and mildew filled her nose. She shivered, but kept going, determined to prove to herself that there was nothing to fear. The basement was cluttered with old furniture and forgotten belongings from the previous owners. Jenna moved the flashlight around, the beam cutting through the thick darkness. As she reached the far corner, she noticed something strange. An old mirror, cracked and dusty, leaned against the wall. She approached it, the hairs on the back of her neck standing on end. The reflection in the mirror was not her own. Instead, she saw a shadowy figure, tall and gaunt, with hollow eyes that seemed to bore into her soul. Jenna froze, her heart pounding in her chest. The figure moved closer in the mirror, but when she turned around, the basement was empty. Panic set in as she backed away, her breath coming in shallow gasps. Desperate to escape, Jenna ran up the stairs, slamming the door behind her. She locked it and leaned against it, trying to calm her racing heart. She could hear the faint whispering of the wind outside, but the house itself was eerily silent. She checked the time and realized Tom wouldn't be home for another few hours. She decided to wait in the living room, where she could see the front door and feel a semblance of safety. As she sat on the couch, her mind raced. Had she imagined the figure in the mirror? Was her fear of basements causing her to hallucinate? She turned on the TV, hoping to distract herself, but the images on the screen did little to soothe her nerves. She kept glancing at the basement door, half expecting it to burst open. Hours passed, and Jenna began to feel more at ease. She almost convinced herself that it had been a trick of the light when she heard a faint noise, a soft, rhythmic tapping coming from the basement door. Her blood ran cold as she stared at the door, the sound growing louder and more insistent. Summoning all her courage, Jenna crept towards the door. She pressed her ear against it, listening intently. The tapping stopped, replaced by a low, guttural whisper. She couldn't make out the words, but the tone was unmistakably malevolent. Her hand shook as she reached for the doorknob, but she stopped herself, realizing that opening the door would be a grave mistake. Suddenly, the front door burst open, and Tom rushed in, looking concerned. "Jenna, are you okay?" he asked, seeing her pale and trembling. She threw herself into his arms, tears streaming down her face. "There's something in the basement," she whispered. Tom frowned and walked towards the basement door. He opened it, revealing nothing but darkness. "There's nothing here," he said, trying to reassure her. But Jenna knew better. As she looked past Tom, she saw the shadowy figure standing at the bottom of the stairs, its hollow eyes fixed on her. She knew the basement would never be just a basement again. "Well, Jenna, you survived that place 'cause I know you're moved. Hope there's nothing in your new basement. Subscribe if you have not already, and smash that like button and share anywhere and everywhere for me. It is really appreciated. And until next time, my friends, I will see you on the dark side or dark basement. Sweet nightmares."